Hey there, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. Welcome to your mid-July success reading. I am recording this just after that new moon in Cancer, which is beautiful energy that is supporting you. It's a nice flow in the trine, and you have the card of the moon here. It says the Queen. I am an empowered feminine leader, and I really want to, I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to read this to you. It says, as Queen, you take a stand for sovereignty in the way you lead and live your life. Okay, so that is the highest energy form of it. It is taking a stand for sovereignty, your own personal sovereignty in the way that you lead and in the way you live your life. And if it is depleted, it says you are depleted and have become selfish if this is in the shadow of this energy. And so this is about not grasping for power, but claiming it through your leadership, through showing the way, through living in the higher vibrational energy, which is really very powerful. That is your basic guideline. Your route to success is not through being domineering, but by leading. It's a leadership, but it's a feminine leadership. So the feminine leadership nurtures and brings others along. Wow, this is some, okay, Scorpio, you are having a crazy reading here as far as what is happening, and that has a lot to do with the fact that the North Node, as of the South Node, at the time of this new moon, so right now it's sitting right there at 0 degrees of Scorpio. It is that pause, that breath, as right before it moves back into Libra, and so there's, and here we have a queen. So this is the Queen of Swords. This is the analyzing things. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. South Node, having moved through your sign. What doesn't serve you? Who doesn't serve you? What doesn't work in your life, right? And choosing to lead by standing in your power and declaring for yourself, this is the life I want, and this is the way I'm going to go from here. And it is not, wow, oh my God, people are not going to be ready for what you're about to do. You're going to surprise a lot of people, maybe even yourself a little bit, with what you've just had enough of and you're not doing anymore, but it leads to your success, because this is a success reading. And so I don't want you to fear the change that's happening now. And as we move with this South Node moving into Libra, that is the rebalancing of energy in partnership in the divine feminine and masculine within yourself. It is the energy of integration, because it always when it's moving through the next sign, after it's gone through your sign, that's always about the integration. That's the rebalancing. That's figuring out who you are. Like, you figured out what you don't want, and now you make that choice. You're like, I don't want this. You may not know what you want exactly, but by letting go of what you don't want, you create space and opportunity for what you do want to come in. It is a big detox, decluttering of your life that is happening right now with a lot of clarity. The Queen of Swords has a lot of clarity, and she knows this, what I almost said, this stuff doesn't work for me anymore. This does not work for me anymore. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career. This is also the unmarried or divorced individuals sometimes. So you could be exiting from a relationship, but mostly I think you're exiting from any kind of a situation that is not emotionally satisfying, and the emotional satisfaction is super important. So you have bonus cards that showed up in all these different spots, and we're going to roll with it. Right here in the energy of that's leaving you, thoughts, feelings, actions, okay? Thoughts, feelings, actions, energy that's passing, because past, present, future. The energy that is passing from you are all the fours. The fours is this stability. I don't want to change. I'm going to leave everything the way it is. We're going to hold tight to this, right? And so in your thoughts, this apathy of the Four of Summer, this lack of emotional energy. It may be that you pulled back some of the emotions over the course of time, and you realize it's not what you want anymore. So being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking someone or something for granted, discontented with life. These are the things that are on your mind. The level of dissatisfaction that you're feeling about things. And the thing that's been draining your energy, the Four of Spring, it is a commitment. It is something that used to bring joy and does not anymore. And that's why, again, for some of you, this is your marriage. I'm not going to lie. I can see that happening here. But for others of you, it could be a business partnership. It could be a career, something that you committed to. It feels very committed, right, when you have this. So this is deep feelings of peace and happiness and seeking that. And you're wondering, when is this coming in? How is this coming in? And there's this apathy about how things have never changed. And the obstacle is the not making a change, not making a shift. The Four of Pentacles. Hanging on so tight to your, they said meager. So your meager success in whatever situation. Like, I've achieved a level of success in something, right? You achieved a level of success, whether it's in a career, in a relationship, it feels like it's one of those two things, okay? And so you achieved a certain status in something, and you're hanging on to it because you don't want to lose any ground. But it's almost like you're clutching, and like you're clutching to the side of a cliff, and the ground is crumbling, and you're scrambling, trying to hang on to your ground, and it's exhausting you. And I think you let go. And it takes a lot of courage to let go. The key to the situation here, you got 3 cards. That almost never happens. Sometimes 2. I've never had 3. They were so stuck together. So, what do we have here? We've got the Chariot. Actually, you know what? It feels like they come in this order. So, it's making the choice or the decision. Major life choice or decision that affects those in your life that matter most to you. When we have the Lovers card, this is choosing to take a relationship to the next level, or choosing to break up, right? It could be choosing a job change or career move that affects people now have to move. You're going to relocate. There's like a major energetic shift because you have the Lovers with the Chariot right here. Okay, so there is a major shift, and it is about making a choice or decision, and it is taking action that is in alignment with your subconscious hopes, goals, dreams, and desires. And so you have choices made from the heart and a return to good health that comes with it. Okay, and it is about choosing what makes you truly happy, what you really love, who you really love. Hopefully you're on the list. You know, when you ask somebody who they love, you better love yourself first. If you don't love yourself first, it's really hard to love anyone else, right? We have this emotionally balanced King of Summer. This is your card. This is the Scorpio card. This is, the kings are the fixed energy, and you're a fixed water sign. And this is keeping everything nice and steady. So we have honorable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted, a romantic partner you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart, and getting involved in a culture or a creative endeavor. So look, some of you are choosing to leave one kind of a situation because you're committing to a new one. I don't know. I don't know. We have Venus stationing retrograde this week. The South Node is just now leaving your sign. I think things are really in flux. We have a lot of planets getting ready to turn retrograde. So I want to encourage you to take your time. Not about leaving a situation, because I think the South Node moving to your sign has made it very, very clear to you. And we have an eclipse coming in your house of partnership on October 28th during your sun sign season. I think that's where you're like, I knew it, I'm done. Really putting the last nail in the coffin kind of energy right there. So make choices and decisions now that are in alignment with what you truly want. Move in the direction of what it is you really want. All right. How do you transform the situation? We have the Two of Spring. A bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams. Great progress is being made. So for those of you who are looking at somebody and you've been in a relationship for a while and you're ready to take it to the next level, I think that's also a possibility. I do. But those of you who are leaving a relationship, don't jump into another one right away. Take some time to do the healing process, right? There's a lot of progress being made. So how do you do this? The energy here, the transformational energy, is by being very creative, by being committed, working hard committed, right? Working hard toward your goal. But it's the optimism and the enthusiasm of your new chosen path that's going to matter. Because in the action to take, we have the strength and we have the devil card, which is the ego. And this guy here, he's setting fire to guilt. His devil. The devil card, see, every major arcana has a lesson, right? And so here in the Chariot, the lesson is to learn how to, well, first you have the 6, the Lovers, making a choice that really resonates in your heart space that you're comfortable with, right? And then the 7 comes along and it says to take action in alignment with your deepest desires. This is conscious action in alignment with your subconscious thought, right? Those really go together. And then we get to the 8, which in here, though, they have the 11. But anyways, it's the Strength card. And the Strength card is about having the courage and the fortitude, now that you've committed to this path, to stick it out and do the hard work and go through it. Be courageous, be strong, believe in yourself. This is the energy of Leo right here. We've got Venus in Leo right now. She's stationing in retrograde on the 22nd. And so she's asking us all what is really important to us and to really work through that energy. She doesn't clear her shadow until right around the 1010 gateway. And so that's right before that eclipse. And so I think this is a cycle that you should honor and work with. That your things are shifting and changing, you're reevaluating, and do that because this ego, where they're burning up the guilt, is the illusion of being trapped. The Lover's card and the Rider-Waite looks like the Devil card. They're very similar. The difference is that in the Devil card, they have chains around them and they're bound to each other. But the thing about those chains is they're loose. You can at any time pick them up and pull them off and walk away. They're not actually stuck. They think they're stuck. It's sort of like the baby elephant, you know. They stick the big heavy chain on its leg when it's little, and it thinks then when anything's around its ankle it can't move. But later on in life they just put a little rope around the large elephant, and the large elephant could break free, but it doesn't know that it can. Totally could. It's perception. Perception is holding it in place, and this ego. I'm clinging tightly to this perception of success, of this where I'm at right now. I've worked hard to get here and I don't want to let it go. And this really hanging on tight to something. This is placing too much emphasis on material items and getting caught up in fear and worry. That's the ego. And having the strength, the action is to have the strength to overcome your ego, to make a choice that really works for you. In the area of resources, there's a lot going on. It's a burden. I feel like you have taken on a lot, and that's part of the problem here, is that you're like, well, if I make this change, how do I afford it? What do I do with my energy? How do I manage it? And so you have the 10 of Spring, 10 of Wands, and it says to ask for the help that you need. Ask for the help that you need. Oh, that's super interesting. All work and no play, and being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So in the area of resources, you have a lot of responsibility. What's interesting is that half of it isn't yours to carry, because here we have the 5 of Wands and the energy to anchor into. And so how can you split up some of the responsibility that's going on? And how can you release some of it and give it to somebody else? It's not all your job to do it. So opposing goals arising from differing opinions. Energy to anchor into. Half of the stuff isn't yours to carry. It's okay to let somebody else carry their fair share, do their stuff, and do it their own way, right? I have a friend, You might be watching, who's a Scorpio with a Scorpio rising. And I remember one day she said something to her coworker along the lines of, I need you to think like me. That's not partnership. That's 10 of Wands. That's too much. 5 of Wands says other people are allowed to have their thoughts too, and the way they do it might be different. But there can be a lot of benefit to that. That's less work for you, more time for play. It's also new ideas that spark creativity. Wands are very creative energy. So, feeling at odds with yourself or other people and overly ambitious people. This is some tough energy you're anchoring into here. This is not an easy process. I can tell you that right now, Scorpio. This is a very tough reading. But what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to remember to stand in your sovereignty. Your sovereignty is not controlling everybody else. It's you controlling your own energy and your own space. And also having enough leadership to allow others to stand in their own space too. And if the spaces you guys are trying to stand in are so diametrically opposed to one another, then maybe that's the situation where you need to break ranks. I can't work here anymore. I can't work on this project anymore. You're not the right business partner for me. You're not the right romantic partner for me. You're going to have to figure this out because this is a kind of tough energy. You have repairing the veil, forgiveness, and you have benefactor, grace and generosity. And so in your, look, this little mouse is wearing a crown and the little other mouse is snuggled up to him, right? So when you put your crown on and you lead through the heart space, you lead by your own value system, but also giving others the space and the grace to be their own leader also. When you release the ego and you have enough courage to let other people bring something to the table, look, these two are both helping to portage, to carry that canoe from one body of water to the other. It's hard to do it on your own. And so when you let somebody else pick up some of the slack, take up half of the workload. When you do that, that gives you the opportunity to have time for fun and also can really improve your relationship. And so this card of forgiveness, when it says repairing the veil, there's a couple things that come to mind. One, someone may have crossed over that you're still angry at, and here's your opportunity to just choose to forgive them because it releases you. That's a burden you can set down that lets you emotionally walk away from it, and it gives you space to be able to manifest love in the incarnation that you're in. But this benefactor, this also is this generosity of others, if you will allow them to contribute. In the heart space, you have the 8 of Cups. You are emotionally walking away from a situation that does not work for you. And so you have to decide what's worth your time and effort and what's worth the fight. The desire for a more meaningful life and realizing it's time to move on, choosing to make major life changes. Well, the key to the situation here is a choice, and it's one that brings emotional balance, King of Cups, and it's in alignment with your subconscious and your desires. This is a big, significant change that you are undergoing. It's right on divine timing. It doesn't make it any easier. It just makes it time. It's just where you are in the cycle of things. But you have opportunities. Love it. A stranger is about to change your life. Exciting times and plenty of action ahead. A special family reunion looks likely. That's all beautiful stuff. So when you create some space, right? When you unload some of this burden, you have time to do other things. To go out and meet people, to go on vacation, to take a seminar, to learn a new skill, to do things that allows yourself to expand and to grow so you aren't so apathetic, where you aren't clinging to what is, like, this is so freaking stable, all these 4s, but there's so much more growth, right? Between the 4 and the 10, you're not even halfway there. No more complaining. Whether you're complaining out loud or just to yourself when you look in the mirror like, my life sucks, that is actually making your life suck, by the way. You are declaring that. You're claiming that. You are claiming the suckage of your life when you do that. Stop doing that. No more complaining. Start being more optimistic and let go. If you are feeling overburdened, and let go, let other people join in. You don't have to be the only person that knows how to do something. What you do looks like you really need to do is allow yourself to follow what you already know to be your truth. That it is time for you to move forward in a direction that allows you to move with confidence toward what it is you really want, your own personal empowerment. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. The desire for a more meaningful life and realizing it's time to move on, choosing to make major life changes. It's going to require strength. It's going to require fortitude and a really careful assessment, I think, of where you have held yourself in place because of fear of perception of others. The ego. That's where we get really hung up, right? We think other people are judging us, but other people are just a mirror, and so it's you judging you being reflected by the people around you. So if you choose to think of yourself as confident and courageous and forward-leaning, other people may look at you and go, okay, because now you're a leader. So lead from the heart. Lean into what you really want. Make the effort and go for it. You're going to have to leave things behind that don't serve you. You only have so much energy, and you need to direct what you have in the area of resources toward what's really important to you. And resources is money, but it's also your emotional energy, your mental energy, your physical energy. It's just energy. And here you're being encouraged to just use half of that energy that you're using to hold yourself. If you can let go of some stuff, you have more energy to apply to things that you really want. It's quite a reading. All right, Scorpio, I'm on Facebook every day. I really get into the astrology over there. I'd love to see you come by for that Venus retrograde we're talking about over there. Working really actively with that energy. I do personal readings. That information is in the description box below. And also, I want to thank you, Scorpio. You guys show up. You show up for these readings. You leave the comments. You hit the thumbs up. I really love the way you guys have been very generous with your emotional energy and supporting the work I do. I do really want you to know how much I appreciate that. You guys take really good care of yourselves. It has been a difficult time. Integration period is difficult, but it's better, and it gets easier the fastest if you are actually willing to just let go. Let go of what you already know is not what you want. Start there. If you do that, then you start looking for these opportunities that are trying to crop up, right? This benefactor right here, this little mouse that's leaning into the one with the crown could be you leaning into somebody, the benefactor that comes along with this great opportunity for you. All right, guys, take good care and talk to you soon.